Hey Waffle Crew, I hope you're doing fantastic. I'm Mark, and today we're diving into more Reddit tales. If you're a fan of Reddit stories, one day I might surprise you with something totally different. How about smashing that like button, subscribing, and maybe ringing that notification bell? Let's jump into the first story. Lots of love, folks! Our first tale comes from AwareChicken5917 on the Am I the Jerk subreddit, titled, Am I the jerk for proposing my brother and his fiancée bring out a cake at midnight during their wedding for our grandma's 80th birthday? My older brother is tying the knot with his partner on July 20th, a date they finalized in January and shared with the family. July 21st marks our grandma's 80th birthday. This is huge for her since no woman in her family has lived past 80, and last year she declared she wanted a massive weekend-long celebration. When my brother revealed his wedding date, Grandma was the first to respond graciously, even though he'd completely overlooked her birthday plans. They'd already made non-refundable deposits, so asking them to shift the wedding a week earlier or later wasn't an option, and Grandma wouldn't hear of it. Instead, she opted for a quiet Sunday dinner, as my brother and his fiancée planned a post-wedding brunch for family and the wedding party that day. My mom and I brainstormed and thought it'd be a sweet idea to surprise Grandma at midnight with a cake and have the band play her favorite tune for a dance with us grandkids. It felt like a great way to honor her milestone during the festive weekend, especially since she was sacrificing her big birthday bash for the wedding. I called my brother right away to pitch the idea, and he was thrilled. He even suggested an England-themed cake since my mom and I are taking Grandma to England in September, her lifelong dream. But his excitement faded after he spoke to his fiancée. He called back to say the cake plan was scrapped, and that night, I got a text from his fiancée saying I should have checked with her first and that I was being inconsiderate, rude, and selfish for interfering with her big day. Yes, her day, not my brother's or their day. She seems like a decent person and we get along okay, though we're not super tight. It made sense to me to call my brother since it's his wedding, too, and it's his grandma, not hers. I replied, pointing out it's my brother's day too and that he loved the idea initially. I also said I didn't appreciate being accused of meddling, especially since my mom and I have respected her planning the wedding entirely with her mom, leaving us out. Despite my parents footing part of the bill, my mom was hurt about being completely excluded. She just wanted updates on the plans. The reception ends at 2 a.m., so by midnight the bride will have had her spotlight. It's not like we're stealing the show with a dramatic proposal inside the wedding cake. My response led to a call from my brother, who said I'd crossed a line and was in the wrong. The top commenter said, "Not the jerk. Your sweet 80-year-old grandma, who's marking a historic milestone, deserves more consideration than your entitled future sister-in-law, who'll have had her full day of attention by then. Plan a proper celebration for your grandma without the fiancé or your brother. She's declared war on the family funding her wedding and those important to her husband, so all bets are off." OP, original poster, replied, "My mom's now really upset and feels she caused this mess. I'm so mad I'm tempted to skip the wedding and throw Grandma a massive birthday weekend instead. Grandma's so kind she'd probably stress about missing her grandson's big day or the party I'd throw. Of course, I won't do it, but it's tempting." I was annoyed when they announced the wedding date, as were my aunts and cousins, but Grandma handled it with grace, and my mom supported her, wanting to be there for both her son and her mom. So Grandma settled for a simple Sunday dinner, knowing everyone will be exhausted, hungover, or drained instead of the big bash she'd envisioned. Commodore commented, "You're the jerk. It's a nice idea, but it's not your event, so you don't get to decide if your suggestion is rejected. Your brother made his choice too." OP responded, "I'd agree if she just said no." But she went further, hurling insults and acting offended that I dared talk to my brother, the groom, first. We're not even close, and she's excluded our family from planning. I only know wedding details from my brother, so it made sense to call him. Meddling would have been going behind her back. Her reaction was over the top. Commodore replied, "Sounds like there's a reason for that." "Sure, it's your brother's wedding, but come on, was he supposed to say no to you and your mom after you came up with this plan, clearly feeling he disrespected Grandma by choosing that date? It feels like you knew you could pressure him." OP countered, "He'd have said no if he didn't like it. He was genuinely excited, even suggesting a cake design and asking if the bakery doing their wedding cake could make it. That's not someone under pressure. I was ready for a no, not the insults and overreactions." Commodore asked, "Would your aunts and cousins help plan something for Grandma?" Nothing crazy, but better than a solo lunch, closer to her original weekend party vision? OP said, I'd need to check. Mom doesn't want this getting out to avoid upsetting Grandma or the bride further. The issue is, many family and friends are traveling from out of state for the wedding, originally for Grandma's birthday. I'm not sure how many could adjust to stay an extra day or two for a Sunday-Monday celebration, Commodore added. You just seem to dislike her in general. You keep saying it's your brother's wedding too, but he's not involving you either. You should have consulted both since it's their day, OP replied. He's involving us by sharing updates on the venue, band, and chapel so Mom could look them up online. That's how little we're involved, thanks to the bride. I know I'm upset and not objective, but my parents and I aren't overbearing. She's subtly excluded us, and we've respected it. I didn't think suggesting something for Grandma would cause this. I'm upset she excluded my mom, who paid $15,000 for part of the wedding, and that it's her way or no way. I'm upset my brother went from excited to against it overnight. That's not compromise. To a deleted comment about time, OP said, Who mentioned 2 hours? It's 1 song and 5 seconds to blow out candles. Another commenter said, You're the jerk for acting like your brother's approval was final. OP clarified, I didn't assume his okay was the final word. I expected him to check with her. She said no. He called to cancel the plan, and I didn't argue, though I wasn't thrilled. Then she texted, insulting me. That's when I responded. I didn't go behind her back, and it was a casual call to my brother, not a scheme. She ghosts me or shows zero interest when I text her. Her brother's my friend, so it made sense to call mine. Commenters said OP pushed too hard. OP responded, I dropped it after his call saying it wasn't happening. I didn't push back. Then she texted, insulting me and my mom. Her saying no wasn't the issue. It was the nasty texts. I didn't make that clear due to the post's character limit, but I didn't argue after he canceled. Another commenter noted, You keep mentioning how she excluded you from planning and only worked with her mom. It seems you're really upset about not being involved. OP replied, I only mention it because of her texts and people saying I should have gone to her first. When I tried to show interest in the wedding to bond, she shut me down. I don't care about not being included, but I care that she excluded my mom, who paid $15,000. We didn't scheme behind her back. We expected her to be told, and she said no. It could have ended there if she hadn't sent those texts. 2 months later, OP updated, the wedding's off. After the clash with my brother's ex-fiancé and his call, I texted her 3 days later to apologize. Despite my family and online support, I didn't want bad vibes or to be a nightmare sister-in-law. My dad was shocked I apologized, saying I shouldn't have since I was insulted. He revealed that in February, the bride's dad asked him privately to chip in extra for her dream wedding, saying it wasn't fair he had to pay more due to tradition. My mom didn't know. Sparking fight won. My dad was upset I apologized and called my brother privately, saying he respected his fiancée as his future wife, but felt he should have called her out for insulting me, just as he called me out for overstepping. Dad then unloaded, revealing the extra $7,000 he gave for her desired flower package, which she hid from my brother. Fight 2 followed. My brother called Mom the next day, saying the wedding was off. Chaos ensued. We couldn't reach my brother or his fiancée for a week. Her mom emailed me at work accusing me of ruining her daughter's life. I forwarded it to my brother, who finally called. He said it felt like she cared more about the wedding than the marriage. She admitted to having her dad ask mine for more money and saw no issue keeping it from him. She also refused to acknowledge my apology or apologize to me. My brother suggested postponing to work on their issues, but she called off the wedding and ended things. My relationship with my brother is strained. He says he needs time because he loves her but realizes she didn't prioritize him as much as he did her. Grandma's birthday bash is back on, and she's thrilled after the initial drama. I miss my brother terribly, and it hurts knowing he's heartbroken. I'm glad he's not marrying the wrong person for the wrong reasons, but I feel awful being the trigger for his life unraveling. I regret everything. A commenter said, To the extent you caused this, someone else would have sparked a similar issue if you hadn't suggested the cake. You did your brother a favor in the long run. Canceling a wedding is painful, but divorce is worse. He saw something he needed to. I hope he realizes that soon, and you shouldn't regret anything. OP replied, I hadn't thought that someone else might have triggered this. It just sucks being that person. His pain makes me regretful, not the canceled wedding itself. I don't think his ex is evil. She's just not right for him now. Wedding planning and keeping up appearances amplified her flaws. I hope she heals too. Another commenter said, "This sounds like the best outcome. Your brother dodged a bullet. Hopefully you two can mend things." OP responded, "Thanks. I'll see him at Grandma's birthday and I'm both nervous and excited. I hope we can talk, but I won't push if he's not ready. Our family will rally to support him." A commenter advised, "I don't know you or your brother, but maybe avoid this topic. His wedding was just canceled. He's likely hurt and embarrassed. Talk about something light, like sports." OP said, "Good idea." The wedding was canceled mid-May, shortly after my post. We haven't spoken since that call, though I text him to check in. He hasn't replied, but talks to our parents and grandparents, so I know he's slowly doing better. I want to apologize in person, but we'll keep things light to relax and have fun. Another said, "Ouch, what a mess. Be there for your brother when he's ready. He seems to get that the wedding was for the wrong reasons." OP replied, "I will. Our parents tried pushing him to talk to me, which I didn't like. He needs space, and I'll give it to him." Someone asked, "What about the extra money your dad gave for the flowers?" OP said, "My parents gave $15,000 initially, then Dad added $7,000. After the cancellation, most deposits were non-refundable due to contracts. Some needed 90 days' notice, which they didn't have. Dad considers the money gone, but said my brother insists on repaying him. Dad's against it and plans to gift it back when my brother buys a house." Commodore asked, "Why did your dad and the ex's dad hide the extra money from your brother?" OP replied, "Dad's old school and thought neither my brother nor his ex knew. He was helping her dad with costs, who asked in confidence." Commodore added, "You did nothing wrong. You made a suggestion, got a no, and were wrongly offended. You apologized for no reason. You've been kind, and your brother's blame is misplaced." OP said, "He's projecting some guilt onto me. He feels bad for forgetting Grandma's birthday and swears he didn't pick the date intentionally, though we can't say the same for his ex, who suggested it. I feel guilty because this mess might not have happened without me, but it's better now than later. What a wild ride. I agree with comments saying it's better to cancel now than face a divorce later. I hope the brother reaches out to OP soon to rebuild their bond. On the bright side, Grandma's big birthday bash is back on. What do you all think? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now, on to the next story from the Am I the Jerk subreddit, posted by T. Brownie. Am I the jerk for asking my house guests to leave 11 hours before their flight? My friend and his wife planned a weekend visit this summer. Their flight is 2 hours, so not a huge trip. We keep our home spotless with regular professional cleaning and go all out to host guests well, but some folks try to take advantage. I usually take a day off work after guests leave to unwind or tidy up. It's a calm time to reset after hosting. Before my friend booked his flight, my husband mentioned I'd be off the Monday after their visit. Next thing I know, they booked a red-eye flight that Monday, meaning they'd arrive Friday morning and leave late Monday night. I told them I'd drive them to the airport by 8 a.m. Monday so I could have my rest day as planned. My friend said he didn't get why they couldn't hang out at our place or explore town together since their flight's late. I explained that my day off is for me to recharge, not to keep hosting or playing tour guide. They're welcome to leave their luggage and explore solo, but we won't be entertaining them after Monday morning. He admitted the late flight was cheaper and said it's no big deal for them to stay at our house all day until their flight. I'd have to drive them to the airport or pay for a rideshare since he won't, and I'd need to feed them too. I told him they're welcome to visit, but staying at our house all day Monday isn't happening. They need other plans. Now he's calling me a terrible friend, and his wife says we're jerks. Thoughts? OKC said, "Everyone's wrong here. Your friends aren't unreasonable for wanting to spend Monday with you or hang out, but they're wrong for not accepting your no. You sound like the least welcoming host ever. Why invite them if 12 extra hours with them is such a hassle? You're making this dramatic." Quick commented, "This is odd. Your friends are odd for assuming they could stay an extra day without asking. You're odd for making a huge deal about kicking them out. Why not just say you have plans and it's inconvenient instead of digging in? Everyone's wrong." Working Routine said, "I'm confused. Are these really your friends? If they are, why wouldn't you want to maximize time with them since they live far away? Do you really need a whole day to recover from a few days with them? They shouldn't have assumed they could stay or that you'd drive them, but as a friend, I'd be happy they saved money and would compromise, maybe drive them mid-afternoon or let them stay but not entertain them. Weird friendship." Protecto said, "Not the jerk. Your friends are overstaying and treating you like a hotel and tour guide when you've been more than generous by hosting, feeding, and driving them." Friendship abuse. Another commenter said, I bet most commenters are extroverts or younger. At a certain age, work and even beloved friends drain you. You need rest to function well. OP likely learned this the hard way. Hosting straight into work means no real weekend. They'd be exhausted all week. They're not the jerk. Guests should ask clearly about stay length and minimize their burden. It's a rare post with a mix of not the jerk, you're the jerk, and everyone's wrong comments, but most top comments lean toward everyone's wrong. OP clarified in a comment. Someone asked if we visit them. We do occasionally, staying in a hotel and paying for group meals. They've hung out at our hotel but expected us to cover the pool bar tab. We started splitting bills. Last time, they snuck in their own alcohol. We let them know our plans in case they want to join at their own cost, but they never do. That comment pushes it into mooching territory for me. What do you think? Share your thoughts below. Big thanks for joining today, engaging with these stories, and showing your support. Your time means everything to me. See you in the next one. Take care and much love. I can smell the bacon sizzling. Let's roll!